It's time.
Kablooey!
All right, here we go.
The Cocktail Show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Yep.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Wow.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail Show.
Gary.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary.
But wait, there's more.
That's what I'm talking about.
He is Gary Meyer.
3, 2, 1, 0.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central on the February 24th, 2023 edition of The Gary Meyer Show Cocktail Hour Live.
Cocktails. Woo! Drinks.
It's time.
And of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. March is coming up quick, and with it, the start of meteorological spring. In my neighborhood here in Central Florida, spring starts even earlier. Lots of wildlife starts showing up, like the bald eagle that was keeping an eye on things at the beginning of February. That got me to start carrying my camera with a good zoom lens with me more often these past few weeks. I've gotten photos of osprey, cormorant, egret, heron, ducks, ibis, bluebird, turtles, and just yesterday, the first gator I've seen this year. Speaking of good views, as always, the best way to watch this show is the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs. It's a good thing.
Please like and share the show on all the social media channels. Comments during the live show, wherever we're live streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio, and we may show them on screen and or talk about them. Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live.
Come on. Leslie, I'm putting the good karma out there.
Can't we all just get along?
Here we go. Boom. Shaka-laka. Welcome, everybody. Hey, this is it, the last Friday cocktail show in February. All right, that means next Friday, that will be we're breaking the back of winter cocktail show. Yes, because meteorological spring starts March 1st, and that will be a couple days in next Friday. We're going to do it. And as Alan said, okay, before we do anything, I got to do a couple things here. Kick the tires, light the fires. There are the tires. Light them up, Alan. And Leslie's got to remove that condom. Otherwise, we can't go wheels up. Hey, Leslie.
Hello, everybody.
Finger
guns. Okay. Anyway, here we go. It's another Oyster Bay. Sorry, I'm kind of falling into a pattern, but I really
whatever
like
you
this
want.
wine. Okay, here we
There
go.
it goes. There it goes. It's got some action. I got it. I feel it. Oh, yeah. I like it when it goes sideways. Yep. Very nice. And you saw the little montage.
What? I just realized I can't stop going ooh. It was in that montage that apparently I say ooh every time, but it just comes naturally.
No, wait a minute. Ellen takes a lot of stuff from different shows and then does a medley. It's not like we're saying
There was no editing on the audio. If you'd like, we can rewatch it. I've got it queued up and ready to go again.
What do you mean?
The last 81 launches. When you hear the oohs when Leslie says it,
and
when you don't hear the ooh, Leslie hasn't said
removal.
it. Or if I didn't pick it up. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, yeah, it demands an ooh. It wants an ooh, and you gave it. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Hey, the medley of Alan's photos at the outset. That bald eagle wasn't on your house, was it, Alan?
No, it was just down the block. It was a couple of blocks from my house. And as I said in the opening, it got me to start carrying my better camera because I was really upset that I couldn't get a nice, crisp photo of it.
Well, it came out pretty well, but I want to mention that story that you probably are aware of, Alan, that woman that was walking her dog along some waterway. An alligator comes out, grabs the dog. She tries to grab the dog from the alligator. Alligator goes after her, takes her in, and now she's dead. I don't know why people are going to mess around with waterways in Florida. Who do you think was there first? And you had a picture of an alligator. What do you do there, Alan? Do you stay a certain amount of
definitely.
feet away? Of course.
I mean, most of the gators, frankly, stay the heck away from us. They see me or they see any of the other neighbors, especially if they're not walking a dog, and they turn and run.
Really?
They run right back into the pond if they see you. I think on the whole they're pretty well fed by whatever they're eating from the neighborhood, as it is.
All
But
those ducks and egrets and heron and
all that stuff that you photographed has now gone into the belly of an alligator.
A follow-up to the story about the 85-year-old woman who got killed. I guess they went into that pond to see if they could, exact some revenge. And they pulled out something like 4 gators. And I'm thinking the other gators are going, what did we do? Leave us alone. This is where we live.
Did they euthanize them?
I'm pretty sure they did, because they're so good with the tranquilizer guns. So, usually they just end up duct taping their mouths and they move them to some other place, which is usually a handbag store.
Right, but that doesn't make any sense because there are thousands of alligators. So you kill 4. Oh, that'll be it? We don't have to worry about that again?
It sends a message to the rest of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You could end up in the back of a pickup truck with your mouth all taped shut. You better watch it.
See what happened to these 4? This could happen to you. Why are you bothering to do this? They were there first. If you want to live near the waterways in Florida and deal with alligators, that's the way it goes.
You want to live next to piranha-infested water parks? That's what's going to happen. It's right there in the title.
Yep.
Piranha 3 double. Was it 3 double D?
Double D.
Okay, got it.
That's the sequel, and I prefer the original, but Double D still is as goofy as the first one, and has moved Twister off my must-watch list for a while until the Twister sequel comes out. I'm staying with the Piranha 3D franchise. Hey, I don't want to get on Steven Spielberg's case, but I've noticed in several of his movies there are major flaws that really make it hard for me to believe the rest of the movie because they're so glaring. And I've pointed out the 1 or 2 in War of the Worlds. That had a big one that made no sense. And if it didn't have that, then the movie would have been over in about 25 minutes. I understand that, but it didn't make any sense. Let me bring something else out. Have you seen the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio. It's based on this true story. This guy would float checks all over the world and was very good at it and finally got arrested.
Frank Abagnale.
Yes, and got arrested. But then the FBI thought, why should we keep him in jail when he can help us find other check fraudsters?
Yeah.
All right, here's
Forgers,
the scene. Forgers. And he's on the plane, Leonardo, with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is the detective that's bringing him back from France and Leonardo doesn't know that his father has died. He thinks he's going to see his father when he gets back to the States. And Tom informs him that his father's dead. And he gets upset and he goes into the bathroom and the plane is landing. And Hanks goes to get him out of the bathroom and no response. And they break the door open. No Leonardo. He had taken the toilet top off and crawled through the plumbing of the plane down into the wheel well and got out that way. Here's the flaw. The plane is still heading towards the gate and people are getting up and getting their luggage down as the plane is still moving. When did that ever become a thing? Or they're going back to a time when you could get up and get your luggage while they're still taxiing? Was that ever a thing?
Well, and I don't think there was so much going on in terms of those overhead bins in the past either, right? Because you would check your luggage and
but the plane is nowhere near the gate yet. It's still coming to the gate and moving and people are getting stuff out of the overhead and what?
Okay, now I'm going to have to rewatch it. So is he covered in blue stuff and then ejected from the belly of the aircraft? How did that work out?
No. He crawls down onto the wheel of the plane and it's moving. Now, this is a stunt double. They're not going to have Leonardo do this.
Right.
He hits the tarmac and runs.
Oh.
And yeah, and I don't know if that is even possible, but that's what was in the movie. But that standing up while the plane is taxiing, come on. Everybody knows you can't do that. Everybody's standing up.
Well,
All
these
right.
days, I mean,
If that's all we have
bets
to worry,
are off.
yeah, if that's all we have to worry about, I think we're in pretty good shape. Here's what we try to do on the Friday show, the Cocktail Show. We're trying to replicate the 50s and 60s when, say, a husband and wife on a Friday or anybody would get together after a long week and get the drink card out and have highballs and just talk, and everything seemed okay. There was no arguing about politics and religion and all that. Everybody just, whatever. We're having a good time.
They'd read the afternoon paper and then put it down, and then everybody got along. And that was, kind of cool. Hey, you know what you didn't do? You haven't even, we haven't even hit the screen door yet.
I know. I got a
Holy
little wordy there.
smokes, man.
Well, first, let's bring up some people. The first group that came in, Kellyanne, right out of the chute, longest tongue male with a measurement of 3.97 inches. My schnauzer disagrees. Okay, what she is referring to, you had a story about a guy who claims he has the longest tongue, and he paints with it.
Recognized by the folks at Guinness World Records as having this 3.97 inch tongue. And, well, I still haven't determined quite how they figure where does one's tongue, where do you start measuring? Do you stick a tape measure down to the uvula? Is it what extends past the lips? And that's what we tend to believe is it's what can extend.
I thought you said the measurement was from the outside of the lips on, whatever is there.
That's what I'm figuring, because I saw a picture of him and trying to figure where that 3.97 inches is, and in this case it was hanging down over his bottom lip.
So it was long. You saw a picture.
It's long.
And
then he wraps it in plastic, dips it in paint, and paints with it, and then sells the art for $1,200 a pop.
Okay, you can't say you have the longest tongue on the planet unless you have the longest tongue on the planet. It's illegal. I did some measuring today. I guess, and this is outside post lips.
As far as you can, okay.
I'm doing about a little over 2 inches.
Huh. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, but okay, but it's one of those things where you're like, okay, should I go all the way into the back, as you said, into the uvula? And
it's fun to say uvula. Come on, everybody, say uvula.
All right, Charles has checked in, as he does every week, from WRLR. And what's going on with Charles? Cuddle your snot. Yeah, cuddle it. Ken, he checked in. Hello, Ken. British Columbia. Martin. Okay, Martin there. I saw Ken, and he said, good evening. On the mend in Louisville. Well, this is the way to do it.
Louisville properly.
Louisville, yeah. David, I think it's time to groom the schnauzer and help it shed its winter coat. Could be fun weekend. Hello from Oaklawn, Illinois. Hello. Hello. Anthony, cheers. Commandos got cabin fever. Yeah, we're at that point. Even though most of the country has not been beaten up too badly by winter, it still has that lack of daylight and everything else. Samantha checking in from Mundelein, Illinois. Hello, GarrForce. Hello. And Kevin, Mike and Pat, Alabama. And what was that?
Trade a gator for a solo schnauzer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And next, Doggy Boy. Let's hear it
for non-alcoholic beer. Okay.
All right. That's Matt Cox. And Dale checking in from Wheatfield. That's Indiana. I didn't know where that was. He'd only put Wheatfield. He's in the Hoosier. Hello, Dale. Deb has checked in. Des Plaines checking in for cocktails. If you're not familiar with that area, Des Plaines is near the airport, and that's where Des Plaines goes over to O'Hare Airport. Des Plaines goes over.
It'd be nice if we pronounced it de plane because that would be more in keeping with the airport. But it's Des Plaines. It's
And
where
that is the home of that big lottery winner a few months back.
They still haven't contacted us,
Yeah, they
but we're
did.
waiting.
Oh, they didn't
and,
contact us, but they have come
No.
forward to get their money.
Right.
And it was one of those deals where it's two friends and they agreed if one wins, they split it half and half, and they're going through with that.
Well, I mean, it's no fun having in this case,
It was
$800 million
Yeah,
and no one to share it with.
there you
So
go.
I
All
think
right.
I could make 400 mil stretch.
Could you
I think so.
stretch that schnauzer a little bit? All right, where are we? Lloydster, I believe Lloydster has lost a lot of weight. He's on a diet and is
Oh.
doing well. Lloydster, continued success with that. And yeah, you're on board, brother. You're good to go. I'm going to go to the screen door for some. Let me line. Good thing we have that graphic. I can't get that thing right.
Oh my God.
Tom, from my old hometown, Oak Forest, Illinois, that is the home of Socks Outlet, where I would come out of there with a bag of socks and underwear for $35. A whole big bag of socks and underwear. Love it. And
You gave them out as Christmas presents, right?
exactly.
And you get tidy whities, and you get tidy whities.
Leanne from Streeter. Is that in Illinois?
Yes.
Okay. Tracy, and that's Tracy who has given you the ball lickers, right?
And we will have one to give away later on in the show. Whoop, whoop.
Doug, Mike, Lloyd. Okay. All right. And Rick, he's checking in. Rick Hucker. He's a Rick Hucker. All right. Good to see you all. You know I like Philippine mahogany, don't you?
That is the word on the street.
I love Philippine mahogany. Right before the show, was it Ryan who sent that text, or was it you, Leslie, that tomorrow is National Hate Day?
Ryan found it, but my husband was talking about it to me because I have to be out and about tomorrow. And the idea of driving around on National Hate Day just seems like it could get interesting.
Or what some people just call Saturday.
There is that.
What is the formal rally cry? What should we do to participate, or just go about our normal "I hate you, motherfucker" kind of thing?
Exactly. Can I hear an F you? F you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that about it?
Once again, can't we all just get along?
Jeez, there's a day now. We have to acknowledge
Hey, at least
this?
they haven't given it a month. I mean, these days they're just handing out months, so you could have any kind of mayhem out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
boy.
So we got that going for us, which is nice. And I'm just anxious to hit March. May would be real, that March, and we will be into spring. And this went by fairly quickly, I think.
Yeah.
This winter.
And this last one, for all the sound and fury, and my apologies to those of you who lost power, because it was more of an ice event than anything. But
Why are you apologizing?
Because I'm going to say it really wasn't that big a deal.
Oh.
I mean, this wasn't, 18 inches of snow and then another follow-up snowfall and, one of those winters. And we've had plenty of them. And we had one super cold snap, but it really has been incredible.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's been a freak of the week. Is this, you familiar with this Alex Murdaugh trial?
Okay, first of all, unless you live where Alex Murdaugh is it North Carolina?
I think he's is it Georgia? I don't know. It's somewhere
Alabama.
I don't even.
I'm not following it because it really is just a local story.
We'll update you as the story develops. I'll step out of the way so you can see him testify on his own behalf. But MSNBC was doing wall-to-wall court coverage of this. What is this freak show?
Well, and with that too, there is a Netflix documentary that is racking up. Okay, it's South Carolina. Thanks, you guys. Is racking up tons of views as well. But the more you get into his background, he is kind of a character, and
You
it's a
think?
family that has got quite a few characters in the lineage.
If you're not
But
familiar, he's accused of killing his wife and son. That's why he's
right.
on trial. And you're right, the backstory has even more goofiness to it. And I'm watching a little bit of this and thinking, if he did it, and he's trying to obviously get out of it and not go to prison, but if you did it, how do you even function? How do you put that in a compartment and maneuver around it?
If you believe some of the stories that are floating around there, he's had some practice. So maybe, it, I guess it was like a housekeeper ends up dead by mysterious means. And there have been any number of people, like in Russia, where people just accidentally fall out of windows. They have those sort of
Mhm.
things running through this family. So maybe, by the time you get a couple under your belt, your wife, your kid, they're causing you grief. So you
And
you take care of business.
wasn't the son in a boating accident, the one that was killed, was in a boating accident and killed somebody,
And
right?
smashed into a bridge, and one of the people on the boat died, and the whole thing. Well, okay,
Jesus.
so this has that Tiger King feel, and look how quickly that came and went. And at some point, life's too short to let that sort of toxicity take over my day.
Well, yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I'm just mentioning it because I couldn't believe they were doing wall-to-wall
Wall
coverage
to
on
wall,
this.
yeah.
This is in that same category as house fires. I don't need to know anything about this, really. This is between the family and his lawyers and prosecutors and all that. Why am I in on this?
I don't know.
Why is this guy getting this kind of attention?
Uh,
You know
well,
why.
yeah,
You know why. Everything's a
Paw
freak
Paw.
show.
They
Yeah.
call him Paw Paw.
Who does?
So I think that's his nickname is Paw Paw.
Okay.
That's what the kids called him, Paw Paw.
Okay. Paw Paw. All right. It's okay. This is that whole news cycle. And I think it started 40 years ago when CNN went 24/7. They had to fill every minute of every day. And then you have these other news operations coming in, and now they want eyeballs too. So now how do we do that? Well, they've all figured out the way to do that and what hot buttons to put out there to get you to sit there and go, "Ooh, I'm worried because there's a storm coming, there's a terrorist, there's a virus." It's always something, and that's what my current blog is. The boogeyman of the week. There's always a boogeyman out there, and they're going to
Yeah.
tell us where the boogeyman might be and protect us. Okay, thank you. All I want is David Muir to turn his head straight and put the arm down.
Well, although I realize I tend to do that, like I might be pulling a mirror here because I like to put my hand on my hip. So maybe he thinks it's slimming to do that.
But do you do it as you're on this show every week for the whole time?
No, you see me flailing around, and
Okay.
okay.
Yes, but your head is not cocked like this for the whole. That's weird.
We have some. Speaking of David Muir, we're probably going to start seeing a shift in TV news if what's happening in England is any indication. And it's something that we've talked about for years. So I will tease that. It's coming up
Oh,
later in
that's
the
one of your
show.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
All
And
right.
yeah, so the sea of change is shifting.
All right. I want to bring Ryan on because he's going to feature a few pictures before his Wisconsin report. Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, good. It's kind of a weird week. We had no school, and now, since we went through the pandemic and we don't have snow days, they just go virtual. So, it was
You
an
had no
interesting
school
week.
because of the weather.
Yeah, because of the weather. So,
No school at all. How many days?
well, Henry's just too young to go virtual, but where I work, rather than we have a real snow day like we used to have, everybody's going virtual now. We did that in the pandemic, so we can do it here.
Yeah.
So should I be apologizing for downplaying it, Ryan?
No,
But it was really just one day, right?
It was just really one day. Yep.
Okay.
And then it's going to be warm, so you don't shovel as hard as in the middle of in December. It's going to be there for a while. Now it's like, yeah, you shovel a path and it'll all melt.
Yeah. I mean, really, just leave it. And if
Yeah,
somebody
just leave
slips and breaks their hip and sues you, well, you
Yeah.
took the chance.
Well, I did the front, but the side door, I said, Jamie, you're on your own. I didn't shovel. It's just
You're on your own. And then you wonder why she goes to Utah with the girls.
And we've employed Hank. He's hanging out at the bowling alley too much now. He's actually got he was working the other day, Alan, if you just want to put that picture up, the one I have loaded there. I went home and they didn't come home for like an hour, and Hank's pushing the street cleaner to clean the carpet, and Jamie's sweeping up. So I said, "Wow, you guys!"
Whoa.
At the bowling alley?
Yes, this is at the bowling alley.
Why? Because they couldn't pay for their game, or what?
I don't know. She said, "No, we just stayed around and helped them clean up." And I said, "Oh,
What do you mean? Okay, they go to bowl, and then the guy that's running the place, hey, would you mind helping us clean up? And maybe your kid can run the carpet cleaner."
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, it was hard to push, but it was fun." So and then they have all these adventures at the bowling alley, and it's like,
I guess. Okay.
So he's getting a new ball. Is he getting shoes? Are you gonna invest in new?
We are,
shoes?
because the payback on those are pretty quick, because it's like $3 a game, and the shoes are like $40. So as much as they bowl, we'll get our money's back on that.
Well, think about putting your feet in a pair of shoes that have been worn by hundreds of other people.
But they spray that magic ointment in it.
That's bad. And then the balls, how many fingers have been in those holes?
And they don't spray the magic ointment in that.
No.
And if you push the vacuum around for them, they give you a pair of shoes that aren't already warm.
Yeah.
So it's a much better feel. Yeah.
And maybe a free game or something. So yeah, they've got it down. Everybody knows them there when you spend like 6 hours
because
on a
now
Saturday.
they're working for free.
Right.
So they love seeing your wife and son. Now,
my God.
Hank has a girlfriend, or at least he's got his eye on a girl. And when she finds out that he has his own bowling ball.
Yeah, he's going to take it to school because they have Star Student of the Week. So he said, hey, Dad, I'm going to bring the bowling ball. You bring the bowling ball, kid.
Star Student of the Week, and that would be him because he's got his own bowling ball?
Each kid gets it throughout the school year, and you have to bring something in that's important. So today his idea was he should bring the bowling ball in.
Ain't that America? God, I love that scene. That is Leave It to Beaver on Acid.
It is.
Yeah,
good,
that is great.
Good old retro back to bowling balls, and
yeah.
Next year it's going to be a pool cue.
Well, no,
right.
He wants to start playing the lottery so we can build a bowling alley in our basement. He said, you need about $150,000. Okay.
Oh, he's really into it.
He is, because I guess they were talking at school. If you had all the money in the world, what kind of house would you buy? And he said, I'd buy one with a bowling alley. And then he said, hey, can't we just put one lane in our basement? And yeah.
Sure. No problem. So anyway, you have a couple photos that I
do
gave to you. And Leslie's ash was on my Facebook page. You saw her big ash on her forehead. Now, somebody sent this. The listener sent Now, you might recognize some of these characters in this photo. Me on the left there, and Leslie in the back, half of her face. And on the far right, that is ace Chicago weatherman Tom Skilling. And in back of him is late, great Jim Ramsey. He was a weatherman in Chicago, and both of them were on my radio show, and both are great people. And Jim was a great person to have on because he was game for anything. And he was the one that said, life is best lived with lower expectations. And boy, Jim, I think you're right.
Yep.
And up in front is a Jim also. So
up in front is a man who worked on our show. And as you might be able to connect the dots with what those glasses might be associated with, that would be Elton John. Yep. Those are really Elton John glasses because this Jim guy here is a huge Elton John fan and bought a lot of his stuff along the way, including those glasses. And he's got some kind of certification that Elton wore those on some album cover, right? Anywho.
And Elton John calls him out at many concerts because, in fact, Jim has bought so many thousands of dollars worth of his otherwise donatables that I think he feels guilty now that he has to mention him.
I mean, Elton John.
Elton John
Yeah.
mentions Elton Jim at the concert because
Well, yeah, because Jim has probably purchased who knows how many houses and cars for Elton John. With his
you remember
ticket
how
buying
Elton
and-
John was like in hock for a while? He had a bankruptcy and stuff like that. Jim was the guy who got him out of bankruptcy.
Probably. All right, let's put the picture of Leslie's Aish on. And there was a big schmear again this year. Look at the size of that thing.
Wow.
So Tim and I are in the back of church. We were one of the last ones to get our ashes. And our priest is a lovely man who has a Polish accent. And he goes, "Ooh, that's a big one."
Yeah.
And there was no denying it. Thanks, Father. Yep, it
Well,
was.
he made it too. I mean, he
Well,
was,
yeah.
he was
And we can
admiring-
submit that to Interpol later and see what he's been up to.
Yeah, and then we get Moose and Squirrel.
Because we do have his prints there, yeah.
Yeah, really, you could get a sponsor really for that thing inside that cross.
There are
And-
naked ladies in the background, by the way. if you
okay,
look at
you
that
want to
picture
explain
here.
that picture in the background?
My uncle Ken took a painting as an older man, like well into his 60s, and that is a copy of a very famous painting, and it's a damn good copy he made too. So that is a family heirloom right
Where's
there.
the nudity?
The ladies, it's a Turkish bath, and those girls have no tops on. You can dig deep if you want, and just keep.
Okay, if you're watching this on Facebook, you're probably getting censored right now because
No,
Mark
that's-
Zuckerberg doesn't like breasts, as we have found. Well, at least I have found out. Boy, ever since that last infraction, I've noticed I had a huge following, and I don't know if they're kinking my hose because that dropped right after that. It dropped way off.
Huh.
Well, and I'm seeing, I think a lot of people are just not enamored with Facebook the way they used to be. They realize that there's a life outside of this social media. And I think in general, traffic is down a lot. And now they want to start charging for people like you blue checker. They want to charge you a monthly fee to be popular.
Okay.
So I don't doubt that there may be some throttling involved as well. But you want to make sure everybody sees your post. You kind of hand over, I think it's like $12 a month.
There's Jerry. There's I call him now Philippine Mahogany Jerry, and he's got his bling. He's got the GM bling in the sunshine. All right, thanks, Jer. And there's another picture or two. Is there one more
I have
picture?
one that you found that someone sent you, right?
Yeah,
That one from
they claim
Monty
that-
Python.
I said that didn't have Ann Gary on there, and they said, "Oh yeah, it did. It was on the Monty Python website." And I went, "Why is the lettering so much different?" Ann
Right.
Gary, yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah.
Boy.
Oh well, thank you. Appreciate it anyway. All right. So, how was your week overall? I mean, you haven't talked about going to that grocery store where they drop meat all over the floor and.
I did Instacart. I kind of gave up on the grocery store this time, and we did Instacart, and then I went to bed, and Jamie was up, and I said, "Oh yeah, by the way, the groceries will be on the front steps at 11 p.m. because I ordered it late." So yeah, I gave up at that store right now. I just ordered it online and had it delivered.
Another Jamie moment, honey. I'm going to bed. Groceries will be here at 11. Get
Yep.
them off the front porch and put them away. All right.
Yep.
After you're done cleaning at the bowling alley.
And
She's
hates
got
me
another
ordering
trip
it.
to Utah planned with the
Yeah.
girls
Yeah.
here, and she's going to come home with a new Mormon daddy for the bowler boy.
Well, she said they ran into, where was it? Oh, the house that they stayed at had a shower that had like 3 jets in the, like a big jet, around it. And she said, "Well, what's this for? All the sister wives?"
Uh-huh. You know what it's for. Oh, my
And she
God.
found a place that, I don't know, was it J-Lo bought a fur? They were in a store out there, and they said, Jamie made a comment, "Oh, this is like the fur J-Lo had," and the lady behind the counter said, "No, we don't have that one in stock right now." So
I don't know if I followed that.
Wait,
Where was
so-
J-Lo wearing a fur?
they were at a fur like coat place, and they were looking at furs, and Jamie recognized, one that was like the one J-Lo had, and was jokingly said, "Hey, that's like the one J-Lo bought," and never thought that she would actually shop at that store. And the lady behind the counter said, "Yeah, that's not the one J-Lo came here and bought."
Oh, okay.
J-Lo was in this store that your wife was in.
Yes.
In Utah,
Park City.
Well, that's believable because they have the big film festival. So I thought you were off on some. Are you believing this story? J-Lo was at a Burlington coat factory. What are you talking about?
And Jamie didn't come home with a coat, so that was good because the price tags were like $2,500. So she'd have to get a third job at a bowling alley to cover that.
Yeah, that paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
still trying to wrap my head around that. Yeah, honey, I'm gonna go. I have to go wax a lane for our friend down at the bowling alley.
Where's Hank? He's pushing the carpet cleaner.
He's cleaning. Yeah, he's gonna advance to shoe sprayer.
Yep. And then they had a party in the game room, and these people left all the food, so the employees were eating in there, and they went in and sat with the employees and ate all the food too.
Well, they should. They are employees. They don't get paid, but
so they came home and said, "We already had dinner." And I thought, I just,
wow, that whole walking scene.
Your wife is definitely laying some groundwork. She's either gonna end up becoming, Bob the bowling magnate's new side hustle, or she's going to end up with a Mormon daddy here at some point.
Because she said, "Guess what I signed up for?" I said, "Oh, you're starting to work on the weekend there?" And they signed up for some parent-son league. But she said there's only one parent can do it, so Hank and I are going to do it. So.
Because if Hank keeps getting a taste of this bowling alley and getting free games, and it's because of the guy behind the counter, suddenly he's got a new daddy.
Yep. Yeah. And he can bring his girlfriend there, and they can have share a lemonade and some macaroni and cheese bites. And
What are you doing back there? I'm checking out your mother's 7-10 split. That's what I'm doing.
Wow. Okay. There it is. Hey now.
There you go.
When do you want to, and we'll do the Wisconsin report here momentarily. Leslie, when do you want to reveal what the added prize is on top of the condom?
We could do that right now because it's just fun to set it up. And a couple of shout outs to some of our favorite viewers and participants here. I will have, let's start. We're back to the original wine condoms. We are done with the reservoir tips. So these are the classics. We have a ball liquor. Thank you, Tracy from Wisconsin. New packaging. So you can, it's got information about how you can personalize your ball liquors. Scott from Scott's Vintage Antique and Collectibles in North Aurora has a magic fish. And I forgot about these. He gave me this a while ago, but do you remember these things?
Yes. You put it in your palm.
Put them in, and then you see what happens, and it tells. And see that one just rolled up on itself.
What does that mean?
That indicates that motionless, curls up entirely. I'm passionate. That's what that means. It says I'm passionate.
All right. That's
so we have that for you, and then our friends from our new favorite band. Oh yes, you get a sticker and a t-shirt, and it's a women's, by the way, women's medium, if that makes any difference to you. And let's dig into the bag.
And there's more.
And I've had this for a while too. It is greetings from Don the Beachcomber's original cardboard coasters.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. How's that for a gift?
I don't want to bring everybody down, but David Erickson said, and I don't know which part is going too long. This is going a bit long, and I don't know what that was. But David, if you want to tell us, we'll try to tighten it up. And while you do that, this is the home of the Kissing Schnauzers. Okay? All right. Yes, everybody.
I think he's waiting for Denny Lane or somebody to show up. And
that already happened.
Happened.
Yeah, that's because we're just enjoying the drink and the conversation. I know it's a frenetic world and you're used to that pace, but we're trying to dial it down a little bit, just have everything be zen.
And you saw a little Denny Lane this week on a on a news story that came your way. So
Yeah,
Denny
it was
Lane's
in my
in the air.
news feed, and there was a piece on him about what he's been doing since Wings and the Moody Blues and everything I covered, and less. I had more in the little interview I did last week than they had in that one particular piece. But anyway, he's on the road. That's what they said. Okay. I think Samantha wants you to bring out Angry Mama, Leslie, and go after David and just get things going. Uh-oh.
You got a problem?
Yeah.
You don't like what we're doing here? Find another frickin' streaming frickin' show. Grr.
That's right. Thank you, Angry Mama. She's our enforcer. Yeah. Don't bring that shit
But I
here.
like bowling.
Yeah. God damn it. All right. I think we can let's take care of some sponsors and then we'll roll the Wisconsin report, Alan.
One nation with wheels and deals for all at Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Tinley Park. Right now, during the President's Day sales event, get $4,500 total cash on a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee or lease for only $299 per month. Lease a new Ram 1500 Bighorn for $409 per month. Get them while you can. Lease a new Dodge Charger or Challenger, your choice, for $439 per month. Your best car buying experience starts now at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
You know who drives a Ram truck? Kevin Costner in Yellowstone, Chris Stapleton. Yeah, manly men.
You're not afraid.
And
to
women.
like them.
Women like pickup
yeah,
trucks
sure.
too. Yeah.
And not even manly women. Women, any kind of woman. And not to exclude manly women. Whatever.
Whatever your thing is, we don't care. All right. And roast to order coffee and tea. We start our day here at the GarrForce with the coffee. You might like tea. Ryan doesn't drink coffee nor tea. He starts the day with orange juice. I will try to get an orange juice sponsor if possible. But right now we're going with the coffee and tea. And today I did that. I walked Flynn, came in, got the coffee going, the roast to order coffee. Coffee's percolating, turned on Beaver, did a double Beaver. One of the episodes this week that I had not remembered, Beaver, Gilbert, and Richard bought a burro for $30. And I don't know why anybody would think a burro is a good pet. It starts at, I believe it started at Gilbert's house and started screwing with his mother's laundry. She said, get it out of here. It goes to Richard's house and screwed up. And so it ends up at Beaver's place. and yeah. And a burro, this is the beauty of the 60s and 50s and all that. This is plausible.
You know, everything old is new again. Bowling, burros. My sister's got a neighbor. She's out in a rural Midwest state. And she heard this bizarre sound the other day. And it was like, hee! And she didn't know what it was. And then she heard the haw and realized, holy shnikes, the neighbors bought a burro.
There. That's America right there. And that's how we enjoy our America with roast to order coffee every day. You will too. It's organically grown. Maybe you'd like a coffee candle. The aroma of fresh coffee on a candle. He's got it. Mike Mascow's got it. So go and order right there. That's the website. And he will ship anywhere in the continental United States. So if you want to send a gift or whatever, there you go. It's all good. Looking for a mortgage or a refi or a veterans loan, any of that stuff. Who do we look at for that? This man. We go to him. And he's got a free consultation that's associated with whatever you do. You start off free and then hopefully do business. You can't lose by getting a free consultation. Not much of any good is free anymore. He does the free consultation. You call up his team. Hey, this is how much I want to put down. This is my credit score. This is what the house costs. What can I do? They will tell you what to do. And they've been doing it for a long time. They'll save you some money. How about that? Team Hochberg. There are the numbers on the screen. All right. Okay, are we ready for the Wisconsin report? I think we are. Alan?
It's Wisconsin, yeah, hey.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Wisconsin. I hope everybody survived Fat Tuesday and the winter storm that went through part of the country. It made for an interesting week, at least in my neighborhood. Here at the GarrForce, we've talked about Lego and Lego collections. There's a man in Wisconsin that's selling his Lego collection going back to 1970. He wants $14,000 to pay some bills with it. Seeing the pictures, I thought, really? Only $14,000? But then I saw also he's trying to sell it himself. So hey, how about this? You send me the Lego collection, then I'll send you the check. I think that'll work. I personally would have taken it to a collectibles shop and dealt with whatever percentage they take and just pocketed the money and moved on rather than trying to deal with selling it on my own. If you're looking to travel in the Midwest, I have a list of the top most reliable airports. Milwaukee came in at number 3, Mitchell International Airport. O'Hare came in at 7, and the most reliable airport in the Midwest is Minneapolis. So before you do some traveling again, make sure you check out that top 10 list to make sure you get good, reliable service. Finally, I don't think I have to say much on this picture. Hank got his aquamarine bowling ball. He's a happy kid, and hopefully no more big purchases for a while. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Brian, did you say you want to buy that Lego set?
Yeah. No, I said, how about you send me it and then I'll send you the check in the mail, meaning that's a weird way to sell stuff. Just put your email address and say, hey, email me and we'll negotiate. And that's why I said he's going to get ripped off.
Well, I understand what you're saying. And is there a broker for Lego bricks? Is that what he should do? How does that work?
I don't know. Or take it to the collectible shop. I've seen a lot of collectible shops that'll sell it for you and take a percentage.
It's 50 some years of Lego bricks. You're right. It has to be worth a good amount of money because I know somebody who sells Lego bricks.
I know you. Yeah.
And it's a big deal. People want these bricks from whatever, and they'll pay.
And some of the pictures were Lego bricks from 1950, and that's why when I saw $14,000, I said I thought it'd be a lot more. I was surprised at the price.
Yeah. Well, he might want to investigate the best way to sell that. It's
so what can I get? What can I get for this?
What is it?
This is the little trophy I got at Legoland when I was down there trying out the new ride last month. It's all little flexible Lego. What does anybody want to pay me for this?
Yeah. Okay. That looks great. Oh man. All right. So the same principle applies to that Coinstar. If you have a lot of coins, you're not going to sit there anymore, right? And roll them and bring them to the bank. And the banks that I've gone to in the last number of years, they won't just throw it in their machine and count them for you and give you the paper currency because they said people had paper clips in these bags and all kinds of stuff that would gum up their machine. So they won't just dump it. I have
dirty money.
Yes.
It's dirty money.
Yeah. And they don't want to handle that anymore.
Paper clips and things end up and they just,
So they don't want to do that. But that Coinstar, it's in most grocery stores. And they take a percentage. It's worth it.
Right. You just take the percentage and move on.
Yeah. What do they take? 10%?
Something like that. And it's fun because you get to lift the little drawer and slide them in. And then the Canadian pennies come shooting back out at you. Yes. It's a great feeling.
And even better use of those Coinstar machines, you can get gift cards like Amazon gift cards, and they don't take a percentage on those. So you can get straight up credit for Amazon and other companies, and it varies by location. Each Coinstar machine seems to have different cards in it.
Well, that's cool.
There's another tip. All right.
If you want your own, Scott from Scott's Vintage Antique and Collectibles has one for sale, so you can.
Has what for sale?
A coin counter.
Coin counter.
Oh, really? Okay, your own.
He's got everything
counter.
right there next to the pony and formaldehyde. It's just.
And you have a number of items in your little studio there from
him. I got my trophy, my cattle wrangling trophy from Scott, and my Brannick device.
The foot measure. What's it called?
A Brannick device.
A Brannick device. Yeah. Sweet. All right. And people say they don't learn anything on this show.
Learn a lot.
Or David says the bit's going too long. They say things. That's what they say.
Screw you, David.
Yeah. Who cares?
Come on. Easy.
Mm-hmm. Like it matters. As I just read, in the scheme of the universe, none of this matters. Nothing. I mean, really, when you really boil it down, come on. What are we doing? We're just hanging on till whatever.
And we're giving stuff away. And I think we've got a couple of people who wanted to get us started because as an homage to you, Mr. Meyer, #Beaver seems to be the way to go today.
You want to do that?
Why not? I love when you guys play along and we can incorporate that. So why not?
Yeah, put that in the
Beaver.
queue. Hashtag
So
Beaver.
look at that. Look at this prize pack. Oh, half of it's on the floor now,
Will
but
be
you get it
eligible.
all.
And if you've won recently, please let somebody else win. I got to tell you, speaking of dead people, I'm watching a Carson show last night, and 1982, and Richard Lewis was on. I love Richard.
He's still alive.
He's been on the show, one of the funniest people that's ever graced a stage. And he's telling this story where his family was driving from New Jersey to California when he was a kid, and they're leaving New Jersey, and he sees his mother is fiddling with some coins, and he says, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm getting the tolls ready for the Golden Gate Bridge." And they had just left New Jersey. I'm laughing out loud. I mean, when you can laugh out loud, I mean, the whole. So I texted him right after. I said, "Richard, I just saw you from 40 years ago, and you were so damn funny then." And that line. Think about the whole construction of that is so funny.
I don't even know.
I don't know. It's a nightmare. She was getting coins ready.
My back hurts.
Right. We were 5 minutes away from home in New Jersey. What are you doing? I'm getting the tolls ready for the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, God. I love that stuff. Okay. All right. So where are we in the program? You want to do your stories, Leslie?
I can do some stories. So,
Yeah.
as I alluded to earlier, TV viewers in England and beyond will soon be seeing a more relaxed look to their TV news. The management of the BBC is telling their on-air staffers that they can start dressing more casually for work. BBC News director Nadja Nielsen suggests that the, quote, sweaty and dirty look journalists adopt when reporting in the field makes them appear more trustworthy. So now those in the studio are being invited to dress comparably. Some are already jumping on the trend with t-shirts popping up on camera here and there already.
I like when the reporters have the sweatshirt and the cap on with the station logo on it. And then in the corner is the station logo, and then when they're done reporting for W blah blah blah, I don't know already.
If we can't figure it out by now, there's no help for us.
Yeah. All right.
A man in India is sharing his passion for balloons, and it's anything but platonic. Akash Majumdar identifies as objectum sexual, and it means that his item of choice in his case, balloons. He's in love with balloons. He holds them and kisses them and even shares his bed with balloons. Quote, I like their presence and warmth and share intimate feelings with my balloons. I make out with my balloons. When you're in love, you spend lots of time together. And it's not a one-way street. Mr. Majumdar says the balloons respond telepathically and they return his feelings.
I just hope when he's having carnal knowledge that our Air Force doesn't shoot him down with his balloons.
With his balloons.
His balloons.
Oh, that
What's
had to
that
be
called?
dramatic. Objectum. Wait, what is it?
When you have sex with cartoon figures and stuff?
You are objectum sexual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, and we have heard in the past of people who've fallen in love with their cars to the point of doing horrible things with their tailpipes, but balloons, not usually. That's kind of new. And let's see. Oh, here, organizers of this year's Oscars have assembled a crisis team to handle any shenanigans like Will Smith's slapping of host Chris Rock. According to Academy insiders, the crisis team has been running drills to help them prepare for all sorts of possible scenarios. One thing is for certain, though, Will Smith will not be pulling any stunts this year since he's been banned from attending.
And what would that be? A crisis team? Why don't you just
wait? We've got it. Keith loaded it in the studio long ago. We've got the crisis all set. Ready?
Okay.
There we go.
That's all you need.
That's it.
Yeah.
All set.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to bring out? Commando?
Yeah. They should have Angry Mama at the foot of the stage.
I'll give you 15 seconds to thank whoever you want to thank and then get the hell off the stage.
Right. And if you rush the stage, I'm going to kick your ass.
Well, and once again, let's recall that whole Will Smith thing. They didn't even usher him out of the theater.
We're sorry, Leslie, you've gone too long. As David said in the comment section, He's going to play us off.
But let's remember that like 10 minutes later, Will Smith was welcomed to the stage to collect an Oscar, and everybody's like, "Oh,
yeah,
good
if
going,
that wasn't
Will."
an acid trip. Whoa.
And let's do one more.
All right.
Visitors to a zoo in Amsterdam can now take a load off and relax on a bench made mostly of elephant dung. The new bench, the brainchild of students from the Amsterdam Institute for Advanced Metropolitan Solutions, is 65% elephant dung and 35% recycled plastic, and it sits right across from the zoo's elephant enclosure. They say if this prototype stands up to the elements, more are likely to follow. And they'll have no shortage of material to build them because the resident pachyderms create around 650 pounds of poop every single day.
All of the pachyderms, how many is that? Or that's not
I
just
don't know
one,
how
is it?
many they have in residence, but I was busy trying to convert kilos to pounds so I could talk to you Americans, because it was 300 kilos of poop that they were talking about.
All right. You talk United States here, girl.
I do, damn
All right.
it. You're talking gallons and inches and 3.97 inches in some cases.
Right.
And
of a
how much
tongue.
do you have? You got two?
I think it's a little over 2 inches outside the lip area. Okay.
Yeah. And
All right. There it is. Woo, boy. Ooh,
golly.
papa, as they say. All right. Are we up for giving something away?
I think we should, let's keep this thing moving because we are coming up on the top of the hour.
Right. And we don't want a bit to go long. All right, here we go. Hit it, Alan. Want to say hello to somebody?
The Sheridans say if they win, they'll keep.
Andy Sherman.
So she actually is Brian's wife. Brian being the bass player.
I think she already has the T-shirt.
So they said if they win, that we can keep the T-shirt for next week, and we'll send them the rest of the stuff, and I'll sweeten the deal. I'll send them.
All right. Sandy Sheridan. Sandy Sheridan. All right. Well, we appreciate their generosity.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't think we're going to make it to the top of the hour. I think we got a tailwind.
Well, how much do you have in that glass?
Well, I got the Luxardo at the bottom, and I'm halfway.
Oh,
so
you've been pacing very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to refill here just because I can.
Yeah, that's what it's for. Again, we're trying to replicate the peaceful American days of the 50s and 60s when Friday was, hey, what are we all complaining about, arguing about? Nothing. Let's have a good time.
Those were the days when I thought that we would all be wearing like Laura Petrie dresses on a Friday night and having those sort of soirees, and we'd all be smoking cigarettes with holders and stuff. And unfortunately, too many people were smoking. Don't take up smoking. But yeah, maybe it'd be kind of cool to go a little Mad Men.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. And then on Sundays, there'd be a popover. Relatives or friends would just come over, ring the doorbell, come on in 3-4 hours, sit around coffee cake. We're gathering. We don't gather anymore. We don't see each other face to face anymore.
And yet, what did you find out? We have the urge to gather. It's right up there with needing to self-intoxicate and eating and drinking, right?
Yeah, the 3 drives are hunger, thirst, sex. And self-intoxication, they say, might be the 4th drive. And I'm thinking it is. And I'm glad to have it in the noggin. But we don't do that. I mean, everything's isolated and we're off into the electronic world. And I think that's part and parcel of why everything's falling apart.
Well, and they're saying especially affecting young men, because all the places where they used to be able to hone their social skills and meet young women are being cut off. So they're working from home. They're being told that they're toxic by birth, a lot of them, and they just don't know what to do with themselves.
Right.
And I don't think it's a good idea.
Wow. Toxic by birth.
So you know what? They should go bowling. Turns out that is going to be the thing that people are going to Zero.
Retro. We're going retro. Back to the bowling alley. That sounds good. All right. Well, I think we're going to hit the tone and then probably bring her in for a landing. And we do that at the top of the hour, the tone. We're not going to run late. The affiliates don't have to worry. News, traffic, weather, sports all coming up, but we won't be here for it. That's it. Take the cannoli. Thank you for watching. Back on Monday. Here comes that cannoli down the aisle. It's complimentary. Beautiful. Ooh, Papa. Maybe you gave this up for Lent. Too bad, because it looks pretty damn good. What about the schnauzer? You give that up for Lent too?
Heck no. I would slide that schnauzer right down the middle of a bowling lane.
Okay.
See what you can do.
All right. And
Although it might get stuck there. I don't know.
Keep it out of the gutter is what you're saying. That's the
you
main
go.
thing. All right. 3 in the green. Gear is down. Flaps are down. The voice of the globe, the GarrForce, has landed.
Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And please, please, please tell your friends and family to like and subscribe too.
YouTube.
More eyeballs. It's a good thing.
Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel. That's what you should do. That's where we gather. Boom. Shakalaka.